In today's video, I'm going to show you how to add some dashboard components to a dashboard and then how to subscribe to that dashboard so that the dashboard can be received directly into your email inbox. Also, I'm going to show you how you can subscribe to reports so that report data can also be sent out into your email inbox without any need to log into Salesforce. So I've got a sales dashboard here, and in the left-hand column, we're looking at open opportunities. And we can see the number of open job opportunities, the value of those open opportunities, and a breakdown of the stages by owner, and also again the stages as a funnel. In the right hand column, we're looking at one opportunities and the one value, and one group by user. So what I want to do is, in this training video, we're going to look through what we can put in the middle column, and I'm going to walk through how to create a report that shows you opportunities closing this month and show you the number of opportunities closing this month, the value, and then a breakdown, similar to the other two charts. Okay, so to start that off, we're going to go in and I'm going to pick on the existing report that we're using, which is Open Opportunities Standard. And I'm going to go in and customise that report by clicking on Edit. Down the left-hand pane, we can see all of the fields and groupings in our report. We have a preview of what it will look like in the top left here, and then we have the chart showing in the right-hand side, and then beneath that is given us an example of 20 of the rows of data that are included in that report as part of those groupings. If I click on the sub-tab for filters in here, I can see currently we're looking at all opportunities with any close date where their status is open. So all I want to do is change this filter to look at all opportunities which are open right now and the close date is in the current month or in the next 30 days, depending on what your requirement is. So I am going to do in the next, in this current month, this month, and apply that data. And there is no data in the database right now that has that, but I'm going to run the report. And I'm going to make a copy of it, and we're going to call it Open Opportunities Closing This Month. So all opportunities closing this month. And I'm going to save that into my dashboard reports folder so that they're all kept together. Okay. In the background, you can see that I'm updating a test opportunity to change the date to this month and to change the stage to an open stage so that it will appear in our report criteria for an opportunity closing this month. If I go back into my report now, I've now got one record displayed on there. So when I go into my dashboard, it will help us because we will be able to see that data. So let's go back into the dashboard, click on our sales dashboard, and the report that we've just created, I want to use that report to create 3 different widgets on my dashboard. So I'm going to click on Edit, add a widget, and it's going to be a chart or table, and I'm going to select the report that I just created. So firstly, I want to create a metric that shows me, and we'll do the amount first, the amount, so the value of all opportunities that are closing this month. And I'm going to call it value closing this month. So it automatically pops it down the bottom left. I'm going to pop it up into the top here, and I'm putting it in the right hand column of my middle section, similar to what I've done with the other charts. Right, next widget. Same report again, and instead of selecting the amount this time, I'm going to click on the sum of opportunities. And the reason it's showing the sum of opportunities instead of sum of record count or row count is because we've used the power of one formula. So I've created a formula field called opportunities that counts each record which will be included in this report. So you can watch one of my other videos to learn about the power of one formula, which makes it really clear what records you are counting. So let's make it a metric again. Sum of opportunities, so the number of records, and we're just going to call it ops closing this month, add, and I'm going to drag that up to there. So we've got one opportunity, value is 20,000. So finally, I'm going to create one more chart using this. And we're going to, I think, keep the one we've already got. It's going to show us the value of the opportunity, and it should just be one bar at the moment because we've only got the one record. And we're going to do sum of amount, and I'm going to change the name of it and call it opportunities closing this month. Add. And let's just save that dashboard. And when I refresh the dashboard, hopefully all the data will appear. Okay, so I've actually got the name of the person whose opportunity it is and the stage that it is at, which is actually quite useful in this instance, because you might want to say, actually, it's unlikely to close if it's at prospecting stage. So it's good that we have an opportunity here that is a negotiation stage. It's more likely to close. So now we've got our dashboard set up, perhaps we want to be able to see on the first day of the month this dashboard in an email so that we don't have to log in. And it will then highlight straight away the position of the organisation at the first day of the month for people to look at, and then highlight what needs to be focused on. So in the dashboard itself, you can go ahead and click on the subscribe button. And if you've got access to this dashboard, you can subscribe to it. And you can set the frequency of the subscription, so it can be daily, weekly or monthly, and you can choose the days of the week and what time this will appear. So it highlights here that the recipients will see the same report data as the person running the report. So if you have access to view this data, then you will see the data that's on the dashboard. So you can also schedule the dashboard to be refreshed. And when you schedule the dashboard to be refreshed, which was what we're doing here, we are then also allowing recipients to receive that email into their inbox. And you can add any of the users of the database to the list of the recipients, but they must have a Salesforce login. So once you set that up, so I'm going to save that. When I go back into my dashboards list, you can now see that there is a subscribed check next to that dashboard. And to unsubscribe, you could either go into here and change the subscription by clicking on unsubscribe, or you can open up the sales dashboard and you can manage the subscription within here and unsubscribe. So similar to dashboard subscriptions, reports can also be subscribed to. So if I open up my report, and I would suggest you have a separate report for subscribing to for the purposes of your subscriptions rather than the one from the dashboard. So in your subscribe option here, it's very similar to what we just had, but you have the option to run the report as either yourself or another person, and that other person may have different visibility of the data than you do. So it depends on what level of the data that you want to be sharing in this subscription. And so, for example, if I was to set up the subscription, I might want users that don't normally have visibility of lots of data to be able to see the data that is specifically in this report. And we can get around that visibility by creating the run report as someone that is higher than the person that is receiving the data in the role hierarchy. So we can also add conditions to this report. For example, you might want to set up a report that will only fire when the total amount of all opportunities that are included in the report are above a certain amount. So you might not want to see the report all the time, but perhaps when you hit the threshold of $1 million, you might want the email to come out and sent to a specific group of users so that they are aware that you've got opportunities in your pipeline that reach the total of $1 million. So you also have the option to add the summary and report, or just the summary, so the groupings at the top, and the report data, or just the summary. And the other option I missed at the top here is attachment. So you can either have the data of the report in the body of the email, in which case you don't click attach file, or you could have the data from the report in a formatted view attached to the email or just as a CSV file attached to the email. So lots of different ways of viewing that data in your email. So once again, once you've set up that schedule, and I'm going to turn off the conditions because I don't want them. Once you set up that schedule and save, similarly to the dashboard schedule, you'll be able to see from the reports list that that report has been subscribed to. Okay, and again, to do the unsubscribe, you'd either click in here to click on subscribe and then unsubscribe, or from the report itself, you can go ahead and click subscribe and then unsubscribe. So we have created a dashboard column in here with 3 reports on it showing you different charts. We've subscribed to that dashboard and we have also subscribed to a report. Each user can subscribe to 5 reports and 5 dashboards. Admins with modify all data permissions can subscribe other users. Across the organisation, email limits exist for Essentials, Professional and Enterprise editions of 200 emails per day, and Unlimited and Performance editions 500 emails per day, and that includes all scheduled and subscribed report and dashboard emails. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe and share my channel JetCloud Jo.